everyone. For today, we are going to tackle about the formats and parts of lesson design. So first, what is formats and parts of lesson design? So lesson design is about planning how a lesson will be structured and what elements will be included. The formats refers to the overall. The format refers to the overall approach or style of the lesson, like a lecture, a project, or a game. The parts are the individual components that make up the lesson, such as learning outcomes, content, activities, and assessment. So, as a multi-grade teacher, how will you create holistic lesson design that connect to the diversity of your students' life experience? And what elements might make it easier for you to start teaching? So, there are questions to consider in preparing multi-grade lesson design. Number one is learning objectives. Learning objectives. What do I want the students to learn and be able to do at the end of the class? So, for you as a teacher, ask yourself on what are the specific knowledge and skills do you want your student to gain from the lesson. Next, students. What are the academic, social, physical, personal, and emotional needs of my students in different grade levels? So, what are the unique needs and strengths of each grade level in your classroom? Next is materials. What instructional materials and resources do I need for the lesson to be successful? So, this is all about the instructional materials and resources you are going to use. Next is strategies. Which teaching strategies will help my student learn the most? What activities will the students participate in? Do the activities allow for differentiation so that students can approach it at different levels and in different ways? How will I make it flexible in the event of unforeseen circumstances? So in strategies, how will you use varied teaching methods and activities to engage all your students and allow for different learning levels? Next is groupings. Should I group in a heterogeneous or homogeneous manner? What should be the size of my groups? In groupings, you should group your students based on similarities or difference and what size groups are most effective. And last is the assessment. Did my student understand? What will be my methods of evaluating their learning? What are the appropriate differentiated tasks for the students? What will it go as planned? What am I going to do differently next time? So, how will this is or how will you measure your student learning and make adjustments for future lessons based on what worked and what didn't? So, there are parts of lesson design. Number one is the intended learning outcomes. These are statements that outline what the learner will eventually be able to demonstrate, communicate, effective, and psychomotor as a result of the learning engagement. So in intended learning outcomes, the learning outcomes tell us what students should be able to do after the lesson, and they are like goals that help us measure student learning. So for multi-grade classes, make sure your outcomes meet the needs of all grade levels, with some shared goals and some specific to each group. So the learning outcomes must be SMART. So for SMART, describe the specific and clear objectives without use of complicated language. Measurable, can be displayed in a tangible way, can be assessed, outcome and quality of accomplishment, and can be observed. Attainable, can be completed within the time frame specified and sufficient resources are available. Result-oriented and relevant is relevant and must be connected to the student life experiences, and time-bound, it can be completed in the given time frame. Number two is the learning content. Learning content must fully cover what are essential. There's a balance in the content and values significant to the varying needs and developmental stages of the multi-grade students and can be carried out in the right amount of time. So, is everything that students will learn during the lesson, including facts, skills, and important values. In writing learning content, it includes the subject matter, content, value that can be integrated, variety of resources, references, and lesson, materials that can be used to enhance learning outcomes and create more interactive, interesting, and engaging activities. So, you must have to choose the content that is interesting and appropriate for all ages, using different ways to teach it to different grade level. So for your subject matter or the content, this will be the competency or the topic that you are going to deliver in your class. The value integration is the value that your student must develop after the discussion, and the material, these are the supplies or resources that you will use in delivering your lesson. And references will be the books and other learning references. Number 3 is learning experiences. This includes a variety of instructional methods, both traditional and authentic learning. Learning experiences guide students toward content engagement and assist them in learning new skills. So, in learning experiences, these are the activities, methods, and strategies that will bring the learning content to life or the real-world application. So, you as a teacher must choose a variety of learning experiences that cater to different learning styles and abilities. So, your older student must be a guide to the younger student. So, below are the different strategies that can be applied in multi-grade class. The whole class teaching. In whole class teaching, everyone learns together. In group teaching, students are divided into groups. In cooperative learning, students work in teams to achieve a common goal. Peer tutoring, students teach each other. Teaching different concepts, instruction is tailored to different learning levels, providing appropriate challenges for each student. And for the self-directed learning, simply it means self-learning. And center-based learning is students choose activities based on their interests and needs. And for the project-based learning, students engage in long-term projects that integrate different subjects and skills, encouraging creativity and real-world application. And for the assessment, summative, formative assessment, authentic assessment. So this includes rubrics, which are the criteria and standards that will be used to make evaluation decisions of the task or outputs.
Ito yung mga halimbawa ng mga format lesson design. Ang una ay ang una ay ang Johann Friedrich Herbart steps. So the J.F. Herbart's instructional ideas, which were particularly applicable instructional, had a strong influence on late 19th century teaching practices, particularly in the United States, where educational leaders founded the National Herbart Society in 1895. So, here are the Gerhardt steps. So, yung una is the preparation, representation, association, generalization, application, and recapitulation evaluation. Dito sa preparation, ito yung ginagamit natin sa mga alam naman natin yung mga format ng mga LP dahil ginagawa natin. So, the preparation, which is ito yung mga a technique for motivating students' interest in a subject by connection new materials to be learned with relevant prior ideas or experiences. So dito sa preparation, para siyang motivation. Kasi sabi niya dito, students' interest in subject by connecting new material. So yung motivation natin sa paggawa ng lesson plan. Dito naman sa presentation, introducing new materials through the use of real-world objects or experiences. So dito sa presentation, ito na yung presentation natin upang malaman nila kung anong subject na ituturo ko. Parang kasi sabi niya, at yung mga objects dapat, yung mga material na pwede mong gamitin is pwede siyang real object or sa mga experiences nila. Dito naman sa association, a true integration of the new idea through comparison with previous ideas and consideration of similarities and differences in order to construct the new ideas in the mind. So, dito sa association, dito na yung discussion ng topic ninyo. Dito na yung papasok na i-discuss mo kung anong lesson na ituro mo. Sabi niya dito, dapat yung mga dinidiscuss mo is may mga integration dapat. Kasi sabi niya, a true integration of the new ideas through comparison with previous ideas and consideration of similarities and differences in order to construct the new idea in the mind. So dito sa generalization naman, a procedure that is especially important in education in it's intended to develop the mind beyond the level of comprehension and concrete. So dito na ginagawa naman natin to kung anong strategies kung anong gagawin mo, kung paano mo i-generalize yung lesson mo. O sa in Tagalog, paglalahat. Hinahayaan ng mga mag-aral makabuo ng isang pangunahing prinsipyo, aral o idea mula sa kanilang matutunan. Pwede yung layunin los makita ang kabuuang kakahulugan ng aralin at magamit ito bilang pundasyon ng mas malawak na pag-unawa. Ang pagtanong na anong natutunan natin mula dito. Ito na yung tatanungin mo na yung mga estudyante nyo o mga pupils kung ano yung natutunan nila. Hindi lang dapat ano yung subject natin, ano yung pinag-aralan natin. Dapat yung mga tanong ninyo is yung mag-isip talaga ng mga bata kung ano ang isasagot nila. Pwede ka magbigay ng mga mahirap na tanong upang makapag-isip ng mas malawak sa kaisipan nila. Dito sa application, this refers to applying newly learned concepts to one's experiences. Dito sa application, pagkatapos ng generalization is magpapagawa na ng guro ng pwedeng mga activity, pwedeng mga game, at dito nila i-apply yung mga natutunan nila sa paggawa ng mga activity or pwede sa game kasi yung mga bata is gustong-gusto nila yung mga game. And recapitulation or evaluation. The step is designed to teachers to determine whether students have grasped the materials by reviewing a lesson or assigning tasks to the students. Dito sa evaluation, the word evaluation is evaluate. I-evaluate mo yung bata kung ano yung natutunan nila sa lesson mo. Pwede itong individual activity. Pwede ka magbibigay ng mga activity sheet. Tapos mag-a-answer nila yung bibigay mo activity. Doon mo ma-assess mo yun sa pag-quantity pag numano i-score ka. Kung alam niyo mababa yung score nila is hindi nila natutunan yung lesson mo. Kaya dito sa format lesson design ni Friedrich Herbart step is meron evaluation upang i-evaluate mo kung may natutunan ba talaga yung bata. Ito naman sa 5A's, this 4-phase structure is based on Hobbes' experiential learning theory, which aims to educate students holistically. Learning is the process by which knowledge is created by transforming experiences. So dito sa 5A's, dito sabi niya, the 4 phases in structure. Ito yung ginawa natin sa English natin na lesson plan at nag-demo din dinemo rin natin itong 5A's pero 4 lang to. Pero 4 lang yung ginawa natin ginawa natin ito ng lesson plan sa English. So, activity, analysis, abstraction, application, and assessment. Sabi dito sa activity, activating students' prior knowledge or relevant experience in the relation to the lessons. Dito sa activity, ito na yung motivation mo din. Ito yung motivation mo upang makuha mo yung interest ng mga bata na makinig sa'yo. At yung pwede ka din na knowledge or relevant experience in the relation to the lesson. Pwede mo kunin din yung mga experiences ng mga bata upang mas interest pa yung mas naiinteresado pa yung mga bata na makinig sa'yo. So sa analysis, providing new material and students should be learning or gaining it through observation and reflection. Dito sa analysis, ito na yung presentation of the lesson. Magbibigay ka ng mga material o pwede kang magpakita ng mga pictures doon at doon parang nagpe-present ka na ng mga new examples upang malaman na parang sa kanila lang na presentation. Upang malaman na ng bata kung ano yung lesson ninyo mamaya or lesson mo ngayong araw. Dito naman sa abstraction, this relates to the development of abstract concept, analysis, and generalization. Dito sa abstraction, ito na yung discussion mo. Pero sa discussion, dapat meron ng analysis and generalization. Magagawa nila sa abstraction yung analysis and generalization. Magdi-discuss ka, then pagkatapos ng discuss mo is pwede ka nang mag-generalization. Application, putting what students have learned into practice or applying what they learned in the actual world. In the word application, i-a-apply na nila yung natutunan nilang lesson sa'yo. But sabi ko kanina, pwede itong game na activity para mas interesado. Yung gagawin mo na activity is talagang parang colorful siya upang makuha mo yung interest ng isang bata. Ito naman sa assessment, measuring and documenting preparedness, learning progress, skill development, or educational needs of students. In the word assessment, ito para siyang evaluation po. Na para siyang i-evaluate mo, para siyang i-assess mo yung bata kung paano, kung may natutunan ba siya sa lesson mo. Yun yung dalawang formal lesson design. Susunod naman ay 3.
So the next format is the 3 I's. So the 3 I's, this format refers to the 3 fundamental steps in supporting teaching and learning. This format focuses on 3 fundamental steps to support teaching and learning, and engaging students' interest, fostering interaction, and integrating new knowledge into practical applications. So these 3 formats are introduction, interaction, and integration. The first I is the introduction. Introduction, engaging the students' interest and focus on the students' attention on the lesson and its aims. So this introduction grabbing students' attention but also to cater different prior knowledge, especially the lesson objectives, because in a multi-grade class, they have different levels of prior knowledge and age groups. And the next one is the interaction, introducing new information with students' input or interactions. The interaction necessitates activities that allow for diverse participation, differentiated activities catering to various skill levels within the multi-grade group. Consider promotes active participation through discussion, active and collaboration learnings. So ito yung mga kakayahan ng mga bata sa mas matanda sa kanila. And cooperative learning groups could mix ages with older students, mentoring younger ones. And the integration provide opportunities for students to apply information to personal context. This increases retention by personalizing information. So the final stage in the format of this format is allows for personalized application of the learning materials, accommodating individual learning paces and styles. Connect the learning concept to real-world situations or other subjects. So this helps students see the value of the information and enhances retention. So for example, younger students creating simple drawing or to illustrate photosynthesis, older students writing a scientific report on the experiment. So a class presentation where students of all ages share their learning. And the next format is the 5 E's. So this well-known teaching structure includes the progressive stages of learning, which guidelines the teaching of units, lessons, or programs, particularly in science and mathematics. So this format provide the teaching of units, lessons, and programs, especially in science and mathematics. So guide students through a progressive learning journey. So the first is the engagement. So presenting an activity or exercise that engages students stimulates their curiosity and allows them to share what they already know about the subject, assisting pupils in developing connections between existing knowledge and new ideas given in the lesson or unit. So engagement, starting an activity or exercises that engage students sparks their curiosity and allows them to share prior knowledge. So what they already know, to assist them in developing connections. So pwede nilang i-connect yung nalalaman nila sa kanilang bagong matutunan. So this often involves an reviewing activity or question. And the next one is exploration. Students are carrying out hands-on activities such as experiments or other interactions with the material to gain a better understanding of the topic. So more on hands-on activities, the teacher can offer differentiated activities allowing students to explore the topic at their own pace. Based on their age and ability, the students can gain better understanding of the topic while exploring. And the next one is the explanation, supporting the students as they attempt to explain what they have learned and experienced. Provides the new necessary scientific to conceptual framework to understand the observation and finding from the exploration phase. It shouldn't simply write lecture. The teacher connects the experiment results to actual, so they can explain the why behind what they discovered, making to relate it to things that students already know. It's about making sense of their discoveries, not just giving them facts. And the next one is the elaboration, putting what they have learned to use in new situations to enhance their skills. Elaboration encourages students to apply their understanding to new contexts or extend learning. Students can use what they learned to do something new. So they can connect what they already know to learn something new. And the last one is evaluation, reflecting on the demonstrating their new understanding of the material. So evaluate assesses students' understanding and provides feedback. So this might involve quizzes, projects, and presentations. And the next format is, and the last format is the 4Ps. This 4-step format is appropriate for skill acquisition in physical education, music, and arts. So the 4Ps are presentation, practice, and performances, and preparation. So this format is ideal for skills development and mastery. It's particularly suitable for subjects like physical education, music, arts, and vocational training. So the first P is preparation, reviewing prior knowledge and skills, setting clear expectations, and providing necessary materials. For example, before teaching a new dance routine, the teacher reviews previously learned steps and stretches. And the next one is the presentation, discussing the topic or demonstrating the competence involves a clear and concise demonstration of the skills. The teacher models the correct technique and explains the key elements. And for example, the teacher breaking it down into smaller segments. And the next P is practice, allowing students time to practice and perfect activities that have been assigned to them. So practice provides opportunities for students to practice these skills with feedback. To develop their skills, this might involve guided practice, independent practice, or peer practice. So for example, students practice the dance routine in small group, receiving feedback from the teacher and peers. And the last P is performance, demonstrating the newly gained skills to use. So allow students to demonstrate their mastery of the skill. This might involve a formal presentation, a demonstration, or a competition. So let them show off what they already learned. So for the conclusion on our report, teachers can mix and match parts of these recipes to create the best lesson plan for their students and the subject matter. So multi-grade teaching requires careful planning, flexibility, and a deep understanding of the diverse needs of the students. The teacher must create holistic lessons that cater to each grade level while maintaining a cohesive learning experiences for all. So